program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it. The truer words have never been said. It does not matter who the host is. What matters is who the listeners are. That is the crucial piece to the whole equation. Anyways, today is, are you ready for this? Thursday, October the 19th of 2023, day 292nd of the year, and only 73 days left to go. Yep, that's it. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, we'll be in the holidays here. No time flat. Anyways, whereas we are broadcasting across the multiverse, we are also hanging out with our friends and colleagues at, that place.
Radio Big.
Oh, yes, Radio Big or Big Radio. It's not Big Radio. It's Radio Big. Yeah, we're hanging out with them as we get to hang out and do all kinds of coolie-oolie stuff with that side of the crew. No doubt about that. So let's talk this morning. Let's have the conversation on where we're going to go today. So let's talk about it. Anyway, so listen, we are a show that talks about safety and the news. News and safety. We have professional broadcasters that are out there getting all the deets of what's going on inside of the world. So we do some main news stories. We also discuss kind of a main subject matter on what's going on inside of the world of the industry. And also you get to interact with the show if you are so inclined to do so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. We'll get everything moving and grooving for you. So options there. You can interact with the whole portion of, let's see, what do we call it on that other side? The social media platforms does not guarantee we're going to get to you before the end of the show. Just doesn't. Call-in radio does video messaging, text messaging, and audio messaging. So we have it all in one section, if one may call it that, in one section for us to move and groove everything together for you. So today will be a plethora of stuff. Today will be the day that we talk a little bit about everything. It's not Freeform Friday. It is Thursday, and let's not give that Friday Junior bullshit that people like to say, because that's what it is. But let's do this starting off out of the bat. Let's go ahead and talk about what the hell was trending.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so when I look at the trends of the ends of the ends of the ends, here is what the sequentio of events were. These were the things that were going on, because I think that you're going to want to hear a little bit about that. If not, we would probably be doing you a disservice if we weren't telling you about what was going on in the sequence of events. Do you agree or disagree with that statement? I mean, you can or cannot disagree with it. I mean, it's entirely up to you on how you want to take a look at it. So as I take a look, here's what it is. The trial of Sam Bankman-Fried gets technical and Tesla makes a big announcement. We'll talk about the big announcement. Another bombshell from Britney Spears' book gets released, and Cher wants to be in the Guinness World Book in the Guinness Book of World Records. We'll talk about that as we get into showbiz. Martin Scorsese says that not everyone was a fan of Goodfellas, and Dolly Parton has booked a Thanksgiving Day performance. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And King Charles had a busy day as he prepared for his first Commonwealth nation's visit. So we'll talk about all that kind of fun stuff. Goody yiddy. Are you good with that so far? Or are we good? Are we good? Yes? Yeah. Or do you want to do it again? Okay. No. Okay. So there you go. So that's the case. So we're going to start talking real quick about everything that's going on. Michael Kastner, waiting right there to talk to you about what the hell is going on inside of this world. So if you're ready, I think I'm ready. So we can be ready together to do the news. If you're good, I'm good, so here's the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The U.S. is vetoing a UN resolution that called for a pause in the Israel-Hamas conflict. 12 members of the UN Security Council voted in favor of a resolution on Wednesday, which would call for a pause to allow humanitarian aid to reach Gaza. The U.S. ambassador told the Council the U.S. is on the ground doing the hard work of diplomacy and blamed Hamas for the crisis. President Biden is set to address the nation tonight from the Oval Office. More from Mark Mayfield.
A statement from Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre released Wednesday says that Biden will discuss the U.S. response to the Hamas attacks against Israel in a primetime speech at 8 p.m. ET. Biden will also discuss Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine. The president has returned from a brief visit to Israel where he met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a show of solidarity.
A third vote will be held today to determine whether Ohio Republican Jim Jordan will become the next Speaker of the House.
Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 199. Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212. A Speaker has not been elected.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan failed to get the 217 votes necessary to win the top job in the chamber during a second vote yesterday. 22 Republicans voted against Jordan. It remains leaderless as Congress must act to fund the government before mid-November. Joran Vandersloot has admitted to killing Natalie Holloway after she refused his sexual advances.
After 18 years, Natalie's case is solved. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Natalie's mother, Beth, feels victorious and says the admission was shocking. The 18-year-old Holloway was reported missing in 2005 while celebrating her Alabama high school graduation in Aruba. Vandersloot was recently extradited to the U.S. from Peru to face wire fraud and extortion charges for offering to sell the location of Holloway's body to her mother. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Egypt's agreed to open the Rafah crossing temporarily to allow 20 trucks of aid into Gaza. Israel says it won't prevent aid deliveries as long as they don't reach Hamas militants. It follows US President Joe Biden's visit to Israel on Wednesday. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is in Israel on Thursday for talks on a 2-day trip to the region. UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly is also visiting Egypt, Qatar and Turkey.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
6 airports in France were evacuated after receiving emails threatening an attack in Paris. William Denslow says the Palace of Versailles was also closing its doors to tourists for the third time in 5 days, citing security concerns.
France increased its alert status after a man that claimed allegiance to the Islamic State group killed a teacher in a knife attack last week. A gunman claiming to be an IS member also shot and killed 2 Swedish nationals in Belgium on Monday. French President Emmanuel Macron has warned that Islamic terrorism is rising across Europe. William Denslow, Paris.
A Democratic U.S. Senator is blasting members of the so-called squad in the House. Brian Shook reports.
Democrats Rashida Tlaib of Michigan and Ilhan Omar of Minnesota have put the bombing of the hospital in Gaza squarely on Israel. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania posted, "It's truly disturbing that members of Congress rush to blame Israel." He added, "Who would take the word of a group that just massacred innocent Israeli civilians over our key ally?" Israel has denied any part of the bombing, and President Biden says he's seen the evidence. It was the result of an errant Hamas missile. I'm Brian Shook.
Illinois Governor Pritzker is launching a national nonprofit group designed to protect and expand abortion rights in other states. Pritzker says the Think Big America group will fight against right-wing extremism.
Women's health, abortion rights, the right to choose. These are fundamental rights regardless of your income, regardless of where you live or who you are.
The governor says the group will build on the progress his administration has made in Illinois. Pritzker has already provided an undisclosed amount of initial funding for the new organization. On Wall Street, before the opening bell, stock futures are edging lower. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of self-imploding on these airwaves. At least that seems to be part of the extent of the things that we do around here. No doubt about that. Anyways, currently, let's see, 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. I want to call it a Monday. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about this day so far. I want to backtrack and call it Monday. So let's get into the shit list right away, because that is what we do. That is what we're known for, getting into the list of shit. Yeah, I said that out loud. So that's what we're known for. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so let's continue talking. The virtually driven portion of the prosecution case against Sam Bankman-Fried appears to be over, having spent the day Wednesday calling expert witnesses to talk about the technical aspects of SBF's alleged fraud. A professor of Notre Dame enlisted the prosecution detailed customer funds that were moved from their account into the Alameda research hedge fund, and then various investment opportunities and causes that SBF wanted to support. In other words, there's increasingly little wiggle room in the argument of the trial that the fraud didn't happen or that SBF didn't know about it. The rest of the case will likely hinge on technical details in the terms of service. So this is, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. What do you think here? I mean, you get into these investment funds and you kind of wonder what the hell happens with the money, but you are, you are saying, hey, we want to give you the oportunidad to move forward with it. So I don't know. Anyways, there is finally some closure to the family of Natalie Holloway, whose disappearance while in Aruba of 2005 captured the nation's attention. Joran van der Sloot has been sentenced to prison for Holloway's murder in a roundabout way. He had been on trial for attempting to extort Holloway's mother out of money in exchange for details on the location of Holloway's remains. As part of the trial, Van der Sloot confessed to the murder. He will now serve 20 years in prison as part of the plea deal. He will also reveal where he left Holloway's body. But wait, Van der Sloot is already having served 28 years in prison sentence for murdering a young woman in Peru in 2010, and the judge ordered this sentence to be served consecutively. This is according to NPR. So there you go. Interesting stuff. So take a listen to this. X is experimenting with a new system that requires new users to pay $1 a year in order to post and comment on their platform. We talked about this briefly yesterday. It's not a money grab for the world's richest man. Instead, Elon Musk hopes that the small fee eliminates bot traffic. The pay-to-play system is currently in beta for a few countries, but not yet in the United States. And let's talk about some big news that happened yesterday, because it did happen. Tesla announced on Wednesday that the long-awaited Cybertruck will start shipping before the end of the year. Musk said that he estimates it will take up to 18 months for the Cybertruck line to generate profitable revenue for the company. So 11/30/23 is the delivery event, is what I kept on reading yesterday. So some people are super excited. It only, if I remember correctly, it only took 4 years and 8 months. Yeah, 4 years and 8 months. So worth noting, detailed in the Walter Isaacson's biography of Musk, the entrepreneur is recently committed to finding efficiencies and constantly improving manufacturing systems. So there you go. What do you think? Did you pre-order a Cybertruck, or did you forget about the $100 that you put down many, many moons ago about getting one? I mean, it's going to be a lot. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the cost is. And then addition to what the cost is and what the changes will be. Because it's not going to be, what was announced many, many moons ago. They'll have some similarities, of course. But remember, that first vehicle was a prototype. So we'll see. Some neighbors are annoying because they don't mow the lawn often enough, or because they play loud music, obnoxious music, that is. And some neighbors turn their house into the off-the-book strip clubs. Yep. Officials in Atlanta have arrested 4 people after neighbors complained about a around-the-clock noise and parties over the last 4 months. Locals say that the house hosted informal strip shows and always reeked of weed. They heard gunfire from the premises and at one point spotted horses on the property. A SWAT team finally pulled everyone out. Those arrested face a variety of disturbances charges, among others. This is according to WSB. So there you go. Apparently some shit going down in hot Atlanta. If you kind of really put some stuff to it. I mean, geez, man. Strip joint in your neighborhood. There you go. Some stuff going on there. Anyways, lingerie company Victoria's Secret says that it's going back to its old marketing ways after losing revenue in the recent years, after featuring soccer pro Megan Rapine, I think it is, and transgender model Valentine Sopravio. Advertising campaigns, among other measures aimed at inclusivities. The company saw a 5% year-over-year drop in revenue despite everyone's best endeavors. It's not been enough to carry the day by day. The company's chief executive said, executives now want to find the way of the sexiness is also to be inclusive. in the marketing and branding of this is according to CNN. So this will be interesting to see exactly what will happen there. No doubt about that. Interesting times for sure. Anyways, with that being said, let's bring in some Erin Royale and let her tell us about what the hell is going on with Money Matters.
The Federal Reserve plans to propose reducing the fees businesses pay when customers use debit cards to purchase items. Bertha Combs reports.
Fed has the power to change these so-called swipe fees. The Wall Street Journal says the Fed will vote next week on that proposal, and the public can weigh in after that. They currently pay card issuers 21 cents plus a small fraction of the transaction price every time you swipe your card.
The IRS is going to test a free electronic tax filing system in 13 states early next year. Matt Mattinson has more.
The agency said Tuesday that hundreds of thousands of taxpayers will participate in the limited test. The first states to roll out the IRS direct filing platform will include Arizona, California, Massachusetts, and New York, as well as 9 other states that don't have an individual income tax. The IRS said earlier this year it was developing the free platform as a way to save Americans money.
Ex-users who open new accounts in the Philippines and New Zealand are now being charged to use the site. Michael Kastner reports.
The social media platform, formerly known as Twitter, says the $1 annual charge is aimed at combating bots. A post in the X Help Center says they started testing a new program on Tuesday called Not a Bot, which is designed to reduce spam and bot activity. The new program will not affect existing users in those 2 countries.
SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles may no longer host World Cup soccer games in 2026. ESPN reporter John Sutcliffe says Rams owner Stan Kroenke is in a dispute with soccer's governing body, FIFA. Kroenke reportedly refused to make changes to the stadium's playing surface to accommodate soccer, which has wider field dimensions than NFL football. SoFi Stadium would have to remove stands and luxury boxes to fit a regulation soccer field. That's something Kroenke reportedly refuses to pay for. SoFi Stadium has been considered to host the World Cup championship game. Consumer and business news, Erin Royale, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Erin, for the information on what is going on inside of the worldo. No doubt about that. So let's continue talking. Let me tell you what I was able to find on my end. The Dow lost about 332 points to close at 33,665 on Wednesday. The S&P lost about 58 points to close at 4,314, and the NASDAQ lost about 219 points to close at 13,314. West Texas Intermediate closed at $88 a barrel, and Brent crude was at 91. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.57 on Wednesday, and Bitcoin was slightly down, trading just at 28,350. There was about 1,790 flights delayed within, into, and out of the United States on Wednesday, and about 70 such cancellations. Friday Mega Million drawings will be for a $91 million jackpot or a $39.7 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, it is time to do so. You know, because it's all about the game. And now we're playing. Oh, sorry. That's a wrestling theme song for sure. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other stuff that is going on inside of the world. Take a listen to this. The West Des Moines Human Rights Commission wants to add youth representative. They're considering 7 applications.
Can you imagine what kind of leadership training they're going to have and the exposure they're going to have? We are glad to have such good representation of so many young people raising their hand to say, I want to be engaged.
I want to be engaged. Hold on. That sounds a lot more serious. Anyway, City Councilwoman Renee Hardman, the West Des Moines, I want to say Des Moines, Des Moines Human Rights Commission advocated for inclusion and equitable policy solutions for the community. So we'll see what ends up taking place right there. Anyways, candidates for local races are ramping up their efforts ahead of the November 7th election in Polk County, Iowa. Auditors Jamie Fitzgerald says there's been becoming a little bit more visible around here.
Now you're seeing people run as teams. You're seeing people go out door knocking. You're getting the mail. And in Des Moines, we're seeing TV ads for people running for office.
Yeah, that's normally what the hell happens. County auditors are now mailing out absentee ballots that were requested. The last day to request one in the mail is Monday. Voters now cast a ballot in person at their county auditor's office. Jamie Fitzgerald also says that the deadline to get the absentee ballot is fast approaching.
If you want a ballot mailed to you, that clock is ticking and ticking very fast. You need to have your completed absentee ballot request form physically in your county auditor's office by 5 p.m. on Monday.
Okay, he also says it's clear why some choose to vote early.
Well, I think people like going through the ballot at home and researching the candidates.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Thank you. Thank you so much for referencing that because it was important to know. No doubt about that. Okay, let's continue talking real quick. Take a listen to this. You may start to see more law enforcement along I-64 in Richmond, Virginia today. Sarah Bartlett has more.
Virginia State Police are increasing patrols on the nearly 300 miles of I-64 that cross Virginia. It's called Operation Disrupt and will focus on distracted and impaired driving, speeding, and seatbelt safety. The initiative will run through Saturday. VSP has similar plans for I-95, I-81, and I-66 in the months ahead. According to state police data, 674 people have died in traffic crashes on Virginia roads this year. I'm Sarah Bartlett.
Okay, thank you, Sarah Bartlett, for that information right there. Take a listen to this. Dozens of parents are attempting to sue the social media app Snapchat after their children died from a drug overdoses. This man who lost his son to a drug overdose explains his issue with Snapchat.
You have a social media app like Snapchat, which is propagating these drug deaths by facilitating and allowing drug dealers to sell illicit counterfeit drugs to our children.
The parents were in the courtroom in Los Angeles on Wednesday asking the judge to allow their lawsuit to move forward. They claim that Snapchat allows people to openly sell illicit drugs on the platform. They also claim that Snapchat makes it difficult for law enforcement to track evidence of illegal activity. Many of the children died after buying pills that they thought were drugs like oxycodone, but turned out to be laced with fentanyl. This is information coming in. I mean, it's kind of an interesting one to see what will end up taking place moving forward there. Anyways, take a listen to this one. Governor Pritzker out of Chicago is launching a national nonprofit group designed to protect and expand abortion rights in other states. Pritzker says that he thinks that America will fight against the right-wing extremism.
Women's health, abortion rights, the right to choose. These are fundamental rights regardless of your income, regardless of where you live or who you are.
The governor says the group will build on the progress of his administration that has made in Illinois. Pritzker has already provides an undisclosed amount of initial funding for the new organization. So we'll definitely see some things as things move forward. Take a listen to this. Justice is being served in the 2020 death of a 9-month-old baby. Anthony Rosales, the father of Gianna Gigi Rosales, said it's been a long time coming after the jury convicted a man in the case this week.
I didn't know what to feel, but it took a couple hours for me to be like, we won.
Gianna Rosales would be 4 years old as of October the 25th. Denver police arrested Cain Giraldo in May of 2021 in connection with Gigi's death. He was the boyfriend of Gigi's mother who was carrying the girl at the time of her death. Jurors inside of the Denver District Courtroom found Gajardo guilty of the case of abuse causing death. The autopsy revealed that Gigi died of a blunt force injury to her head. Gajardo is scheduled to be sentenced on December the 8th, and he has spent he can spend up to 24 years in a state prison. Gigi's mother is also set to stand trial in December. Anthony Rosales, the father of Gianna Gigi Rosales, said that he made his mission to keep his daughter's name alive since her death.
I'm an advocate. I'm not Gigi. I didn't go through the pain, but I'm going through this pain right now.
So there you go. Let's see. Well, I'm sure we will have some more information on what is going on there. Take a listen to this one. Grand Rapids police are sharing the details of a massive cocaine bust earlier this month. Seizure of over 81 pounds. Yeah. Chris Becker in the Kent County Prosecutor's Office says that it's easily one of the largest drug busts in Grand Rapids history.
In terms of my experience in this office, I can't remember many, if any, that are larger than this one. This is an extraordinary amount.
The bust happened on October the 8th, according to the court documents. Officers with GRPD who were working on the ongoing drug investigation saw a red semi-truck pull in front of the residence of a Church Place Southwest. Police say that a man with a Texas ID, Charles Celestine, got out of the semi holding a large black duffel bag. He went inside of the home, and after he left, GR and state police pulled him over for carrying 34 pounds of cocaine and $150,000 in a handgun. After the 37-year-old Timothy Gant of Grand Rapids left the home, police arrested him with $40,000 on him. When officers searched the home, they found 47 pounds of cocaine and 2 handguns. GRPD Chief Eric Winston said the investigation is the result of months of work of Michigan to Texas in between the Department of Vice Unit, the U.S. Postal Inspection Services, and the DEA. Gant already has a previous drug offense, and Celestine are charged with conspiracy to deliver and manufacture controlled substances, which carries a life sentence. They are also scheduled to appear in court today. Chris Becker with the Kent County Prosecutor's Office says that the possibility of life sentence is aimed to deter people from selling drugs. There you go.
Definitely when we do see something like this, we're going to do everything we can to make sure we keep these people off the streets because it is getting death out into the community, and we don't want that. If they do it, we can hold them much more accountable and maybe keep them from doing it down the road.
They do it. They do it. Yeah, you do it. Yeah, that's it. They do it. There you go. Anyways, 33 minutes past top of the hour. You know what that means. We're behind.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, story of the main of the story. That means we're running, we're jumping, we're moving, we're grooving, and so on. So I want you to think about it today. Today is your day of work. Today is the day that you're working. Today is the day that you have X, Y, Z, and everything else that is a letter of the alphabet planned to do today. And a couple things start happening. Something out of the ordinary just got into what you were doing. Something out of the ordinary just actually started to happen. Something out of the ordinary is happening, and you're already running behind on what you had planned for today. Now, if I am talking to you and you're taking a listen to this, you know that this is the life of a safety professional. Because listen, you don't know when things are going to happen. You have some ideas of, hey, this could happen, catastrophic event, bad event occur. This is the plan. This is what we're going to do. And it's good to have a plan. It really is. Unspectacular planning. We've talked about that before. But what do you do when everything starts to collapse on what you had planned and you're already running behind? What do you do? How do you prioritize? What are the set things to do? Because here's the interesting sequence of events of stuff. Sometimes when we take a look at this, it gets weird. And why I say that is for the following reason. Because in most jobs, career paths, however the hell you want to call it, there's more than one person that does X job. Normally, when it comes to the safety department, that's not the case. That is not what occurs. What normally happens there is that something will occur and you're kind of stuck like Chuck on trying to get everything done. And hey, sorry, Chuck, I'm not picking on you. But all of a sudden you're stuck with trying to pull up the pieces. And it gets strange. Not kind of strange, but real strange. So what do you start doing? How do you handle it? That's the question for today. How do you turn around and go, hey, we need to make sure that things are going to be able to move forward? And that's the thing. If you already have an unspectacular plan, meaning that you're planning for the worst but hoping for the best, you can normally work inside of those segments. But if not, how do you prioritize? What all of a sudden becomes the main thing? And maybe that is the stuff to think about today. Maybe you kind of draw it out. Now that you have time to draw it out, if it's already kind of going through the process. But you have to kind of put it into purpose on what's important and what's not. And if you are a single person, not meaning that, not that you're dating, that's not the kind of single I'm talking about, but if you are a single person that is trying to handle the issues going on, it becomes a little bit more interesting. It becomes a little bit more difficult to handle the situation. It really does. So these are the things that if you plan and have a strategy for, it will work best for you. And you prioritize on what's important. I want you to think about this. If you're into sports, if you look in to MMA, mixed martial arts, you will listen that if you hear, you'll hear about these people that are in MMA have sports psychologists, some of the higher echelon ones, that will tell them to imagine winning whatever event they're going to do. So this way they would know how they will feel and react to the things that are going on. Now think about that for a moment. There is a reason that they're being told this. There is a reason why this occurs in that fashion. Think about it for a moment. It's kind of a weird one. It really is, because I'm not going to say that it's not, but they do it in that fashion for that way they are ready to do whatever the next step needs to be. That's something. So if a professional sports person is doing this, how well do you think that this would adapt to what you do? Imagining and planning for potential events. Not that you're going to have them all down, because you can imagine more worse things that will happen than will actually happen. But think about it. If you have a plan, how can things get better? Makes it kind of a strange one.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks, though. With the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
Tearing the ass out of you like gas station sushi.
Okay, here we go. 43 minutes past the top of the hour. Still hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, Summer Lights. Some little Wolf Club coming your way. You can give this one still some streamer action. Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify. So there you go. Would love to thank Wolf Club for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Because that's what we do around here. You know, we play some Muse. Yep. That's what happens. You know, I get stuck with this stuff. I get stuck, and I just don't want to stop it because it's like, hey. I know. And the funny part is that when I play on the radio and when I play in my personal life is entirely sometimes different. Because if you are stuck in the car with me, besides that you're going to get probably some techno, you're going to get some really hard heavy metal. Or punk. Not the CM kind. But you get the point. Okay, so let's continue on as we are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Let's talk real quick because I need to tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. To Write Love on Her Arms wants you to know that people have been where you are now and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. Click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there's going to be all kinds of resources available for you. I mean, I'm telling you, a plethora. Anything from addiction, depression and anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. There's also some sections in there about how to get scholarships to apply for treatment and recovery. There's also international resources, view mental health resources outside of the U.S. on how you can get a hold of those, and suggest mental health programs that are invited to submit their own programs. So if you're someone that has a program to offer, you can go there and submit your program. Seriously. And then you can go to the FAQ, frequently asked questions just in case, to find help tool. All kinds of stuff available for you right there. I'm going to tell you, very passionate about To Write Love on Her Arms and the stuff that they do. I truly am. Think it's so important to have these conversations because, listen, there's been this weird stigma about mental health. And I think that the only way that we will ever be able to proceed and have a conversation about this is by normalizing it. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to go talk to someone. It's okay to say that I am not okay today. And it is okay for you to love yourself. Yeah, it is okay. So just keep these things in mind as we are talking. Currently 47 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out here on the Rated R Safety Show. You know, hour number 1 of the Jay Allen in the Morning Show. Just in case. Let's talk about some food stuff because this always seems to be important. Your partners were onto something when they told you to eat your veggies, and I meant your parents, not your partners, referencing to a study that appeared in the Journal of Nutrition on Alabama dietitian Carolyn Williams says that veggies can act like weight loss drugs such as Ozempic and the other popular ones, which are a signal to your body that you are full. Scientists found that eating fiber-rich vegetables before carbohydrates makes you feel full longer, improves your blood sugar, and increases weight loss. The practice is called meal sequencing, and the study showed that if someone ate faster, those who ate vegetables first had a lower blood sugar after their meal than before. The lower insulin than those who began their meal with eating carbs, but I'd rather eat my veggies right along with the rest of my burger. I mean, I'm just saying. So maybe vegetables first was really the right way the whole time and just nobody really recognized that that was the case. So there you go. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, a few grapes a day could keep the obstetrician or the optometrist away. A new study suggests that researchers in Singapore have found evidence of eating grapes comes with a big perk for you peepers. The investigation looked onto the consuming an antioxidant-rich food has direct impact on your eyes. Their conclusion, grape consumption beneficial impact eyes health in humans, which is very exciting, especially with growing aging population. Grapes are the new carrots. I guess that's how they're looking at it. Anyways, scorching new South Carolina chili named Pepper X has captured the Guinness World Record for the world's hottest pepper, beating out the legendary Carolina Reaper, created by Ed Curry, the founder of the Pucker Butt Pepper Company. Yeah, Pucker Butt Pepper Company. The greenish-yellow Pepper X packs a sweltering 2,693,000 Scoville heat units. Former Trump was the Carolina Pepper, also created by Curry, clocks in at 1.64 million on the Scoville record. For perspective, pepper sprays has a score of 1.6 million SHUs, and a jalapeno pepper has between 3,000 and 6,000. Today's Pepper X is measured by Scoville scale. Tomorrow, definitely, it's the Richter scale. I mean, I have to tell you, when you have a company called Pucker Butt Pepper Company, you should probably be slightly concerned.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
I guess I'm talking from the end consumer side. I mean, because, pucker up, but, you get the drift. You get the drift on what I was trying to say. There you go. Anyways, when we get over to Radio Big, we're going to talk about some of the greatest guitarists of all time. So you might want to come and hang out as we have that discussion on that other end, because we talk a little bit about everything over there, just the way that we do stuff, because we like to do some interesting stuff. Anyways, let's talk a little bit more about some other things that are going on. We don't want to talk about sports. Let's talk about this one. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez's wife and 3 other alleged co-conspirators are pleading not guilty to a revised indictment in their complex bribery scheme. Brian Schuck has more.
The senator, his wife, and a third person were charged last week with conspiring to use Menendez as an agent of the Egyptian government in exchange for cash and gold bars. Menendez himself is set to appear in court Monday after claiming earlier this week the feds are hunting him down like prey. I'm Brian Schuck.
Okay, thank you, Brian Schuck, for that one. Take a listen to this. Word of an anti-Semitic attack inside of the New York City subway car. Take a listen to this by Andrew Whitman.
It happened Saturday night around 11:30 on a 7 train at the station at 42nd and Lex. The Daily News reports a man walked up to a 29-year-old woman and slugged her in the face. When she asked him why he did it, he reportedly answered, "You are Jewish." He took off. She's okay. The NYPD Hate Crimes Unit is investigating. Andrew Whitman, NBC News Radio, New York.
What is up with people these days? I mean, I just don't get it. But hey, it is what is happening, but I'm glad somebody's reporting on what's going on. Let's just see if security can be upped in that area. Take a listen to this. Get ready for something big, radically different on the highway. Brian Schuck has more.
Tesla is holding a delivery event for the Cybertruck on November 30th. It will be at the factory in Texas outside of Austin. The announcement was made on the social media site X, which is also owned by Elon Musk. I'm Brian Schuck.
So there you go. Some people will be super excited about that, no doubt about it. A Littleton family is mourning the loss of one of their loved ones after he was hit by a car on his way to school.
The reason people slow down on streets is the way they're designed. And this intersection could have been designed to really slow drivers down there.
That was Stuart Santana, a member of the Vibrant Littleton and Littleton Social Cycles, 2 groups that advocate for safer streets in the city. The fatal accident happened on Tuesday at the intersection of South Alati Streets and another street near Elucid Middle School. Liam Stewart, who was a 7th grade student at the middle school, was riding his bike to school when he was hit. First responders tried to save the child's life, but he was pronounced dead. Now, a memorial of flowers, teddy bears, and candles have been set up along the intersection. Neither the police or the city have commented on whether they think that the intersection, which has a traffic circle, played a part into the accident, but residents are hoping city leaders will push for tougher safety measures. That's what's going on right there as we are talking. Interesting stuff going on, as no doubt about that. I mean, it's just an interesting time when we start taking a look at some of these intersections and how they're built, but maybe somebody who understands it better should probably be talking about it. Let's bring in some Sarah Lee Kessler and let her tell us about what's going on with the Health Beat.
The CDC says it's finding growing vaccine hesitancy among pregnant women. During the height of last year's flu season, nearly 25% of 2,000 pregnant women surveyed told CDC researchers they were hesitant to get a flu shot. The year before, it was 17%, and that reluctance is expanding to the 3 other vaccines now recommended during pregnancy: COVID-19, pertussis, and RSV. But the CDC report also found that when OBGYNs talk to their patients about the need for these shots to protect themselves and their babies, women are a lot more receptive. About a third of U.S. parents have trouble getting diapers, a combination of factors at work, according to the Institute for Research on Poverty. Inflation, increased demand, fewer diapers being offered by low-income service providers. They're recommending cloth diapers for those who have washing machines. Health updates, Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about some things that happened back on this day. The Halloween reboot starring Jamie Lee Curtis brings in $77 million, a record for a horror film with a female lead. It's also the biggest debut of any film with a female lead over the age of 55 in the U.S. That happened back in 2018. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, I have some of those for you. Katie Douglas turns 25. Tony Storm turns 28. Hunter King, 30. Cheyenne Floyd turns 31. So does Little Dirk. Colton Dixon, 32. Ashlyn Harris, 38. Rebecca Ferguson, 40. Jillian Jacobs, 41. Jose Bautista, 43. John Favreau turns 57. Evander Holyfield turns 61. Floyd Mayweather Sr. turns 71. And John Lithgow turned 78 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, it's National Friends Day, Conflict Resolution Day, National Get Smart About Credit Day, Evaluate Your Life Day, National Seafood Day is another day that you can celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. And last but not least, drink a holiday that fits for a queen. Today is National Gin and Tonic Day. Here's what Bree Tennis has to say.
It started as a medicine in India as a treatment for malaria. Quinine and tonic was used to treat the disease, but tasted so awful, a Scottish doctor mixed in a little gin to help it go down. Liquor.com says 45% of us drink them, and a lot of famous people do too. Hemingway, Churchill, Hitchcock, Sinatra, Madonna, even the Queen. I'm Bree Tennis, NBC News Radio.
Oh, yes, drinking on that gin and juice. Laid back. Oh, you got the reference. You know exactly where I was going with that. Don't worry about it. Oh, anyway, so there you go. That's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out over there. If you stay here, good old Sheldon Primus will take over Safety FM, and he will talk about the world of safety consulting. If you need a random joke for today, I have one of those. It's useless to hold a person to anything that they say when they are in love, drunk, or running for office. There you go. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. If you could know the truth behind any secret or mystery, which would it be? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this one. 8 out of 10 men prefer to leave these intact, while about other half of women take them apart. What are they? Oreo cookies. Oreo cookies. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. That is it. Like I said, top of the hour, radiobig.fm. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it doesn't make any sense to do what we do around here. No doubt about that. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Why compare yourself with others? No one in this entire world can do a better job of being you than you. Think about that. That might get you places that you never thought. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Give